All right, today we're going to jump into a super powerful framework that's all about boosting your productivity. I mean, if you've ever felt like you're drowning in this endless sea of tasks, well, this might just be the lifeline you've been looking for. Let's get right into it. So let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we all know, that feeling of being totally and completely overwhelmed by a to-do list that just never, ever ends. Sound familiar? But what if? What if I told you there's a simple, structured way to get all that chaos under control? A method that helps you cut through all the noise and really zero in on what actually matters. Well, there is, and that's exactly what we're about to break down. Okay, section 1, work chaos and its solution. The first step here is realizing a pretty fundamental truth. Not all tasks are created equal. Seriously. The real secret to taking back control is learning how to rearrange them in a smart way. So, section 2, 4 types of your work. Now, when you really stop and take a hard look at your daily workload, you're going to find that everything, and I mean everything, fits neatly into one of 4 distinct categories. Yep, these are the 4 big ones: repeated work, project work, pending work, and ad hoc work. Think of these as the basic building blocks for your entire workload. Getting a handle on them is absolutely key to making this whole system work. So let's dive into each one. First up, we've got repeated work. You know what I'm talking about? It's the stuff you do like clockwork. Your daily reports, those weekly team meetings, monthly invoicing, they have fixed deadlines, right? And missing them, well, that causes problems. So the strategy here is super simple. Give them a permanent, recurring spot on your calendar. Set it and forget it. Okay, next up is project work. Now, these are the big ones, the mountains you have to climb, the tasks that can pretty much define your whole quarter or even your year. We're talking about launching a new product or prepping for that career-defining presentation. They're not your everyday thing, and man, they carry a ton of weight. So how in the world do you climb that mountain without getting totally lost? Simple. You use a map. And this classic project management formula is your map. You start with initiation. That's where you figure out exactly what done looks like. Then you're on to planning, mapping out the schedule, the budget, the whole shebang. Execution, of course, is where you actually do the work. And along the way, you're managing risks, handling any surprises that pop up. And finally, delivery. That's when you present your masterpiece. See? It turns an overwhelming peak into a bunch of manageable steps.
Oh, pending work. We all have them, right? These are the tasks that just haunt our to-do lists. The ones we keep pushing off because we're scared or we're hesitating or we just feel like we don't have the time. The psychological block here is so real. And here's the kicker. The more of these you pile up, the more they just suck your energy and drag down your effectiveness.
But here's the thing. The trick to finally clearing that backlog is surprisingly simple. You just have to start. The secret is to take that big, scary task, break it down into tiny, almost laughably small pieces, and then just do one of them. That little tiny bit of momentum, it's often all you need to break through that inertia and actually see it all the way through to the end. All right, section 3, managing sudden tasks. Let's switch gears and talk about maybe the most disruptive category of them all. I'm talking about those tasks that seem to pop up out of nowhere and just completely throw your day off the rails. This, my friends, is ad hoc work. That sudden email, the hey, you got a quick sec from a colleague, they're unplanned, they're fast, and if you don't have a system for them, they will absolutely derail you. And you know why? Because our brains get a quick little dopamine hit from finishing an easy task. It feels productive even when it's pulling us away from what's actually important. And that system, that defense against distraction, is the ABCDE method. It's this brilliantly simple tool for sorting and prioritizing these sudden tasks the second they land on your plate, so you don't fall into that busy work trap. Okay, section 4, the ABCD prioritization method. Let's really dig into the specifics here, because this is the tool that puts you right back in the driver's seat. A for must do, B for should do, C for nice to do, D for delegate, and E for eliminate. The ABCD method gives you 5 crystal clear choices for any new task, so you can make a decision in seconds, not sit there agonizing over it. Okay, so let's get this straight, because the difference between an A task and a B task is absolutely crucial. A tasks are both important and urgent. Think a critical system is down or a huge client has a major issue. You drop everything you're doing and you handle it right now. B tasks, on the other hand, well, they have serious consequences if they're not done, but they can wait. They can wait until you finish the thing you're already working on. Big difference. C tasks, they're simple. These are the nice-to-do things. They have low importance, low consequences. No one's going to be in trouble if they have to wait. So what do? Just add them to your list and get to them whenever you have some downtime. Easy. Now we get to my favorite, D for delegate. Look, if a task lands on your desk that doesn't absolutely require your unique skills, the single most effective, most productive thing you can do is give it to someone else. This frees you up for the A's and B's that really truly need your brain power. And that brings us to the most empowering letter of them all, E for eliminate. These are the tasks with no real importance, no real consequences. They're just noise, distractions. And the single most productive thing you can do with them is just get rid of them. Poof, gone. All right, section 5, a new way to be effective. Let's move into our final section and see how all these pieces, the 4 types of work, the ABCDE method, all come together to create one cohesive system that gives you total control. And here it is. This brings it all together into one beautiful, simple cheat sheet. For every single type of work that can possibly come your way, you now have a clear go-to strategy. Repeated work? Slap it on the calendar. Big project work, you've got the project management formula. That nagging pending work, break it down. And all that ad hoc chaos, you hit it instantly with the ABCD method. It's a foolproof plan. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. You now have a complete system to go from feeling chaotic to feeling clear and in control. And the best part is, you can start using it this very second, just by asking yourself one really powerful question. What's one task you're going to eliminate today?